Hey, man. So, some interesting things going on in the world. I was trying to do a fire with no spark video, and I still can't get that stupid bow drill to work. So I got frustrated and thought I'd talk about some other things that were interesting to me today. And the big one that caught my attention is some amazing things going on in the world right now. And you all know all about it. There's North Korea and Iran and Israel in the Middle East. You know, nothing new, all the same old hot spots, but really, really interesting things. Obviously, North Korea just out of nowhere, just like completely did a 180 and went around from, you know, raining a sea of fire upon us and burning us in a sea of fire to, well, yeah, we'll give up our nuclear weapons and let's have a peace treaty. Something. That was a major shift in the Far East, man. Major shift. That's China's signal and some sort of capitulation. That North Korea doing that quick flip like that is indicative of something major going on. My guess is China just realized that Trump wasn't going to back down, that he wasn't blinking, that they weren't going to be able to play this game of chicken and there was no profit in it. And so they either are having Kim Jong-un do something sneaky, or they just told him he was on his own and he said, ah! I don't know, it's interesting. We'll see what comes out of it. This summit is that they're going to have in, oh Lord, I forgot where they're going to have it now. I think maybe it's Thailand. I don't remember. What comes out of that's going to be really interesting. I'm not sure that we won't see reunification come out of this. I think that might be China's game. Reunify the Koreas and then exert long-term influence over a reunified Korea. China always plays the long game. To me, that would make most sense, since it's obviously the short term isn't going to work out for them. Reunify China and then exert influence over that. That's what I think would be the smart thing to do, as long as they're looking down that road long term. But Iran, mind bomb on Iran. I don't know what's going on with Iran. I admit Iran always worries me. I always think Iran's this major threat about to break out, but this little shooting war they got into with the boys are on the swing set. And of course, they can't swing the right way. They got to swing sideways, so the whole swing set is going back and forth. But this little shooting war they just got themselves into with Israel. So Iran has been pushed as far as Iran can be pushed. I mean, like, short of invading them and sinking their little puddle pirate navy they got going on there, you couldn't push Iran any more than we already have. Pulling out of the nuclear deal and moving the embassy to Jerusalem makes Iran just look weak and powerless in the region. I mean, Trump just went and pulled Iran's trump card. And their only response was 12 rockets. I've heard two different numbers. I think I heard 20 and then I heard 12. I think 12 is the accurate number. Their only response is 12 rockets, 8 of which weren't even going to make their target. 4 of which were on track to make it as far as their target, and Israel shot them out of the sky. Two different things here. First off, rockets are just ancient technology, literally ancient technology. Rockets are nothing. To shoot 12 rockets is to only shoot 12 rockets in the face of such provocation. Remember, Israel, right before this, Israel had bombed, they'd killed 7 Iranian troops right before this in another little attack. So Iran gets attacked. They don't get attacked. A target in Syria with Iranians in it gets bombed. 7 Iranians die. America kills the nuclear deal, which is going to cost Iran billions of dollars. Billions of dollars. And by the way, dry up a major source of funding for terrorism. We moved the embassy to Jerusalem, and all Iran has is 12 rockets, 8 of which aren't even going to make their target. That is an incredibly weak response, and I am shocked that Iran would be that weak. You know, these massive protests they were just supposed to have along the border too kind of fizzled out real quick. I'm just shocked that there's so little upheaval. You know, I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop, but it really feels like there's not going to be another shoe this time. or there's not going to be another shoe. It really feels like maybe we've exposed these people as not being as powerful as they want to project, and sort of incapable of pushing their agenda to its illogical conclusion. Also, Iran's, well, I wanted to shift the corollary, or the opposite of these 12-week rockets that Iran shot, 8 of which weren't going to make it, was that Israel was able to shoot all 4 of the others out of the sky. Not much is being made out of that right now. That's amazing to me. Rockets are not big. They don't have huge heat signatures. You know, they're kind of small and erratic. And to be able to target all 4 of them and shoot all 4 of them out of the sky is, frankly, I'll be honest with you, that I did not know that technology was available and deployed. That to me is shocking, that they can just sort of offhandedly say, oh yeah, we shot 4 rockets out of the sky. It's not even like they're in the sky that long. They have a pretty limited flight time. That to me was amazing. That Iran only had, was only going to shoot 12 rockets. 8 of them weren't going to make it. That tells you a little something right there. What was that? 2/3 of them failed. 2/3 of them failed. And then the 4 that did were going to at least, go the full range, get shot out of the sky. That is a technological dominance that is surprising. Surprising. But, I mean, you come to expect this from the Israelis. One day I'll tell you a story about my experience with the Israeli Air Force. It's been 20 years now. They told us they would throw us in the brig if we told anybody, but surely 20 years later now, I don't know, I'm not going to talk about it right now. The other thing about all this is that I was just reading on Zero Hedge that Iran's economy is in the toilet. They're facing massive inflation. And if we put sanctions back on them again, it could really cripple them this time. I mean, it crippled them last time, but I mean, it could really put a hurting on them this time. So very, very interesting things in the Middle East. Usually when you hear news coming out of the Middle East, you get all, knotted up inside, like, oh God, here we go, Armageddon, nuclear holocaust. It really feels like right now the tide is sort of on our side. The wind is sort of in our back. And I know there'll be a lot of debate between you men about, should we even be involved over there? Should we not be involved over there? I'll be honest with you, there's no choice but to be involved over there. We don't have the option. I don't even know how you just say, oh, you guys take care of it and walk away. Because the potential fallout and everything is just horrific. So, I mean, we're there for ill or for whatever that saying is. I don't remember it off the top of my head. But, and the North Korea let the prisoners go. Very interesting. We'll watch to see if Iran lets their American hostages go too. I would not think so. Iran is in desperate need of a win right now. So they're actually in a corner. They're backed in a corner. They're dangerous. Never ever count the Iranians out. They're a unique people. The Persians go back a very long way, and they've dominated the world a few different times in the past, a few different ways. So never ever count them out. In my personal, we try not to go religious too often, but our religion is very important to us here. And when I read the Book of Revelation, it talks a lot about Babylon the Great, and everyone's always trying to figure out, what does Babylon stand for? I tend to try to take everything literally. When it says Babylon, I say, oh, they might be just be talking about Babylon, which is an area that falls underneath Iran's. It's actually in Iraq, but it's under Iranian influence. And if there was ever it's Iran's intention to rebuild that that area and take it back under its control and rebuild Babylon. And so when I read the Book of Revelation, I see a big role for Iran in the future, obviously. And when it says Babylon, I say, oh, that's probably real Babylon. Let's not overcomplicate this thing. We'll see. That's neither here nor there. Anyone who says they understand that stuff is either very, very... I shouldn't say this, because I know people who believe they understand that stuff. People I respect. I am skeptical anytime when someone tells me that they understand end times prophecy and eschatology and all that, because I believe the book has been sealed up on us until the time when we need it. So we don't know about it yet, or we don't know what it all means yet. That got way far afield. All I wanted to say real quick, just to get a video out, was you know, get your red hats on, man. MAGA, make America great again. It feels like a little bit of the old glory has been restored here for a minute. We don't want to get arrogant. We're not the same people we were 60, 75 years ago. We can't expect. We have deep challenges to address in our own country before we regain. And you know, we don't need that dominance on the world stage. That was not healthy for us as a country, as a people. Bad things came out of that for us. So I do not want to return us to a place of world dominance. I would love to go back. I know I can't believe I'm going to say this. It wasn't 10 years ago. You know, I would have said isolationists and isolationism was stupid and asking for trouble. I have become increasingly isolationist as I've gotten older. At some point, the world has to just fend for itself. You know, I mean, we can't put out all these brush fires. Although at the moment, it feels like maybe we are putting out the brush fires. And I can't help but be a little, you know, a little proud. You know, the problem. Here I go. Oh shucks, I'm sorry. I'm on a rant. You know, I consider myself a part of the warrior class, and a warrior class is actually a bad thing, because it means there's all these people who are not, you know, warriors and don't have responsibility for all the stuff we talk about when we talk about the militia. But as a member of the warrior class, I look at that strength and I feel pride, and that's actually the real danger of having a warrior class, because guys like me get our egos and our self-worth wrapped up in our nation's ability to project power out, and you know, we can't help that. Men are competitive. Men kind of strive for excellence. Men look for areas where they can excel, and if you're a member of that warrior class, you know, what's your outlet? Your outlet is projecting strength overseas, and I don't think projecting not strength. Projecting strength is healthy, but projecting action, I don't know. I don't want to be overly critical of our servicemen, because they're good men, and they do hard work, and they do it for good reasons. But the people above them don't always have good reasons. So anyway, just all that to say, you know, I feel an excitement and a little bit of a pride and a crowing when I see these things happen. That's actually not healthy. It's not good for the world that we've got however many tens of thousands of troops in Japan and Korea and, you know, all the places where we still have them, Italy and Turkey and, you know, all over the stinking place. Those boys need to come home, and the peoples of the world need to establish governments that they're content with. And anyway, that's a whole nother video. We appreciate you, men. We're gonna get some stuff out here soon. I'm gonna figure out how to start this stupid fire. I've got a couple of gun videos, some militia videos. I'm rolling around in the back of my head. I've got some more of the Man Up series rolling around in the back of my head. We got some fun stuff coming. The garden's coming up. The root cellar has not progressed. It's actually gone backwards. I actually got a little bit of the forms up for pouring the root cellar, and the 2-year-old went out there and kicked them over on me. So I've got to back up a little bit and start over on that. But I've got another project in the house that's bogging me down, and now they're talking about 60 hours a week at work, and I'm not a good time manager anyway, so who knows when all this stuff will get done. We appreciate you, man. Thank you.